Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Leslie, and today we are talking about oddly specific things that I do not spend money on. Some of these things I previously did spend money on and I've since stopped. Some of them have just always been a no for me. So if there's anything on this list that you buy regularly, it might be time to rethink some of your options, and maybe you can also stop buying some of these and save yourself some money. And in some cases, they can even help your health. So let's get started with this list. The first thing on this list is going to be single-use makeup remover wipes. So any of those like eye makeup wipes, the full face wipes you can use, anything like that, even just buying the solution and using like a cotton ball or something like that, you do not need that. What you can do instead is buy the makeup eraser. Or you can use any other similar brand that is a multiple use makeup remover and something that you don't have to use any kind of solution with. I absolutely love my makeup erasers. I am so glad I bought them. I bought a set of 7 of the little pads so you can have one for each day. I'll link the ones I got below, but I mean, you can get them anywhere. It's not an affiliate link or anything like that, just an option for you. So with these, it makes it really easy. You just use really, really warm water and then just wipe your face down and it gets everything. It's absolutely amazing. It'll get, like it doesn't just smear your makeup everywhere. It will actually remove it, including mascara and everything. I wear pretty bare makeup. I just use like some powder. I don't use heavy foundation. So it's possible it might work different if you use a lot of makeup, but to be honest, these are so popular and they work so well with like my mascara and everything that I would imagine any amount of makeup would be great with these. I think the only thing is if you wear a lot of makeup, you might want to buy like a bigger pad, because I got the kind of small ones and I know that I fill those up just with my mascara and my eye makeup, so you might need a bigger pad or to use 2 of them. I highly recommend these things. They're amazing. The next thing on my list is going to be extra laundry supplies. It's kind of funny because growing up, my family never used anything other than just basic laundry detergent. No fabric softener, fabric sheets, nothing like that. So I didn't realize how popular it was to use all these extra products like scent beads and just all these things they've come out with. So I had no idea that so many people were using these. I notice it more, especially now that I go to the laundromat. There are dryer sheets everywhere just floating around because so many people use them. But you do not need these things, and they aren't great for your health, especially the scents that they have. I believe dryer sheets can even leave like a film on your clothes. I'm not sure. I've never used them, but that's what I've read and heard from other people. So it's quite possible you're actually hurting your clothes and your health by using all these extra products. So this is one area where it's really easy to save money. You can always look up more natural ways to do the same things that these products do. Maybe you can use some essential oils, or I think with static cling you can use balled up aluminum foil. I'm not sure. You might have to do some research on that because it's not really something that I deal with. So I don't have a whole lot of recommendations for other products. I know that I get by without any of them, so it might be possible for you as well. So definitely reevaluate your laundry routine and see if you really need to be using all these products. Another thing I don't spend money on is multi-step beauty products, or really any kind of specialty beauty products. Things like anti-aging creams, or I don't even know because I don't pay attention, but any of those like specialty ingredients that are really trendy, just anything like that, I don't use it. I keep everything really minimal. I use moisturizer when my skin looks dry, and that's basically it. I mean, other than I wash my face. I don't even wash my face every day. Like I do so little as far as my beauty routine. And I think I look pretty good for I'm 36, so I think I'm doing okay. But I just don't spend extra money on that stuff. I really think that less is more when it comes to things like beauty products. So that's one where you might be able to downsize. A lot of times how you look doesn't even have to do with what you're putting on your face. It has more to do with what you're putting in your body as far as food. Are you hydrated? Are you sleeping? Sleep is a big one. Things like de-stressing. All of that kind of stuff is a great way to take care of how you look and to age gracefully. Another one that I don't spend money on is multivitamins. So I do spend some money on supplements, but I get specific. So I do vitamin D and magnesium. I think that, yeah, those are the only two. Sometimes if my daughter is sick and I'm worried I'm gonna get sick, I'll take like elderberry with vitamin C or something like that. But for the most part, I keep it really simple. I just think multivitamins aren't super necessary for most people, especially if you have a pretty good diet, which I know a lot of people don't, but it's the point still stands. I really think that multivitamins just aren't really necessary for that many people. And also a lot of people do gummy vitamins, and I just question whether everything is in there that they say is in there. I don't know. I'm just really skeptical of some of these multivitamins. And if it makes me seem more credible, I do have a degree in dietetics, so I tend to read and do a lot of research on nutrition related things. And from my own research, I've decided that multivitamins just aren't super necessary. If you are deficient in something, obviously supplement with it, do what your doctor tells you. But if you think that just taking a multivitamin will have you covered, it probably won't, because everybody is different. So each person is not going to need the same amount of each vitamin. If you're really worried about deficiencies, you can always get a blood test and see how you're doing. Otherwise, you're probably fine. I mean, if you like taking it, it's unlikely that it's going to hurt you. But if you're spending a lot and you don't particularly like taking your multivitamin, you can probably just let it go. I think a lot of people could benefit from something like vitamin D. I know a lot of people are deficient in that. So if you're going to take something, it would probably be vitamin D. But, you know, do what works best for you. This is just something for me that I don't feel like spending money on. Another oddly specific item I don't buy is mouthwash. I know a lot of people like the kind of tingly, clean feeling it leaves in your mouth, but mouthwash, especially mouthwash that has alcohol in it, isn't great for your microbiome that's in your mouth. It can kill off a lot of that good bacteria that you need in your body. So mouthwash is just not a great idea for anyone. So just save your money, brush your teeth, use your water flosser, whatever you want to do, but don't worry about buying mouthwash. When it comes to period products, I know everyone has their own go-to with what they like to use. For me, I do not buy tampons at all, and it's pretty rare that I buy pads. I just hate all of them. They're uncomfortable, they're just awful. So I normally do period underwear and these flex discs. They're just little plastic discs, kind of like the menstrual cups, but the ones I buy are disposable, and those are the ones I use especially at work, because I don't want to be dealing with cleaning a menstrual cup at work. That just feels weird to me. I just I don't know. I'm not ready for that step. Although eventually I would like to do a reusable menstrual cup. I actually thought about buying one recently, but I really like these flex discs, and you don't go through that many. I mean, depending on what your period is like, there are days where I will wear one all day at work, and then when I get home, I'll just use my period underwear. So I might be going through like one or two a day. So a pack is like, I think 14, and it lasts for a while. So that's a really good option if you're interested in something like the menstrual cup, but you don't want to commit to a reusable one, because it's kind of a big expense. They're like, what, $30 or $40? This can be a great way for you to try out using that kind of product. So I highly, highly recommend those. Another item I do not spend money on is fragrance sprays or air fresheners. So things like Febreze, the Glade plugins, just any of that highly fragrant stuff, it tends to really give me a headache. Like, we have a cleaning service that comes in, and I saw that they were spraying Febreze, and I was like, oh my gosh, please don't do that, because it made the whole apartment smell so strong, and it sticks around like for days. I had to open all of the windows to let it air out because I was getting such a headache. So I don't know if everyone is super sensitive to that. I know some people love the fragrance stuff like that, but it's really not great for you to be breathing that stuff in. So I definitely don't buy that. I mean, if my apartment smells bad, there's usually a cause for it. So I'll just address the cause. If you want something like in the bathroom, which is totally understandable, you could do that Poo-Pourri spray. That stuff is amazing and it smells really good. And that you can just find it on Amazon or the store or wherever. But otherwise, yeah, anything that's heavily fragranced, like artificially in that way, is just not great for your body. I know this next one is not for everyone because it really depends on your hair type, but I do not buy hair conditioner. I have pretty fine, straight hair, and any hair conditioner really weighs it down. Like, it's already pretty flat on the top right now because I didn't do much to it. But if I do conditioner, it's so heavy in my hair. Any conditioner I've tried, even ones that are more lightweight. So I don't see the point of trying to find a conditioner that works for me when I really don't need it. Because my hair, it tends to get oily so fast as it is that I usually need the opposite. I need something to dry my hair out rather than to add moisture to it. But I know that certain hair types really do need conditioner. Like my daughter, she has curly hair that is hydrophobic. So she really needs conditioner to help keep her hair from getting so dry. So I actually do buy it for her, but it's something that I don't buy for myself because I really just don't need it. The next thing on the list is going to be costume jewelry. This is one that I used to buy a lot of, mostly because it's all I had the money for. But recently, I've been trying to invest a little more in some quality jewelry, stuff that's made out of real gold, sterling silver at the worst, but definitely nothing that's like mystery metals or combinations of things where it's just gonna tarnish, fall apart, fade, whatever it is. I invest in good jewelry now. The next thing is going to be notebooks and journals. I just don't tend to physically write down that much anymore. The most I need is like post-it notes. I do have a shopping list on my fridge so that I can write things I need, and that's just a pad of paper with the sheets you tear off. But in general, anything that's a spiral notebook, a physical planner, that kind of thing, I just don't buy anymore. And it's funny because I used to be really big into that. In fact, I used to sell physical planners in my Etsy shop a long time ago when I first started it. So this is something that used to be really big for me. But over the years, I've moved so much to digital. I use stuff like the Google Tasks app. I know I've mentioned that in a few videos because I just love that app. You can make all kinds of to-do lists. I use it for like Christmas lists and just any kind of list you need. I also use GoodNotes, and I make my own little notebooks in GoodNotes on my iPad. So everything is in there digitally. The only thing that I have as far as a physical planner type thing is we do have a family calendar that I keep on the fridge. And this is one that I feel is necessary because my husband doesn't always know what's going on because I'll tell him and he'll forget or not write it down, whatever. So it's really important for us to have something that's in front of both of our faces so we can see what's coming up. So I do have my family calendar on the fridge, but anything else is going to be a no. A lot of times with notebooks too, I think I tend to fill up like a few pages and then just forget about the notebook. Like I'll buy it for a certain reason and then I'll start using it and then just lose interest or whatever it is. And I find I'll use like the first 10 pages and then I'll just stop and I have a whole wasted notebook. So it's so pointless and so wasteful. So that's another reason that I've stopped buying them. The next few have to do with food. So the first one is going to be sugary drinks. I do not buy any kind of sugary drinks. And actually, I don't buy many drinks at all. I tend to drink a lot of water or tea. If I buy something in a bottle, it's going to be kombucha, or sometimes I buy coconut water. I actually use my lunch credits at work, so I'm not even paying for them. I just spend my credits on them. So as far as things I actually put money on, it's really rare I would buy any kind of drink, and definitely no sugary drinks, no soda, no juice, nothing like that. Along those same lines is going to be candy. I do not buy candy at all. So with my background in nutrition, and my mom is a dental hygienist, and I actually work for a dental manufacturer, so candy is just such a big no-no. So I don't buy any candy. Occasionally I will end up with it somehow, like if maybe it's at work or my daughter brings it home from preschool. So we do occasionally have candy in the house, but it's not something I'm going to be spending money on. If I really want something sweet, I'll find something else. Candy is like the last thing that I'm going to want. And then the other food related item, I eat gluten-free because I have IBS. So gluten-free foods, especially snacks, are so freaking expensive. When I first went gluten-free, I kind of fell into the trap of buying a lot of gluten-free replacement products because I didn't really know what to do with my diet. I had just started, but over the years, I got much better about making just gluten-free stuff on my own. If I want a snack, I'll either find something naturally gluten-free so it's not super expensive, or just make something on my own. Replacement foods that are gluten-free, things like cookies and chips and a lot of snack products in particular, that kind of stuff is just so pricey that I don't buy it anymore. The one exception is my birthday. Usually for my birthday, I like something like cupcakes, and I don't always want to make a full batch of gluten-free cupcakes because I don't know if anyone else is going to eat them because they do taste a little different, obviously. So I will just buy like a 4-pack of gluten-free cupcakes from the store instead of having to have a whole batch here that I'm tempted to eat. So that's going to be the one exception. And then occasionally I might grab a snack, but it's just not something that I'm regularly going to buy. The next thing on the list is going to be figurines and things that sit around just because they're cute. So, you know, you go to the store and you find something, oh my God, that's so cute. And then you just want to take it home with you, but you don't have to. And that's what I've learned. So I don't just grab that stuff and take it home anymore just because it's cute or I like it or it's a character I like, any of that stuff. So I've gotten way better about that over the years. It's funny because I accidentally made my mom think that I like Funko Pops because I worked at GameStop a long time ago, and so I bought a few Funko Pops because that's just what you do at GameStop. So I ended up with a handful of Funko Pops, and I totally regret buying them. I don't want them anymore. So I guess my mom saw them here at my apartment, and she got me a couple of Funko Pop items, and I'm just like, I don't want this stuff. I had to tell her that I'm not into that, but she just assumed I was because she saw it here. So I made that mistake of accidentally inviting more of those into my home when I don't want them. The ones I have, I'm actually selling on eBay. Stuff like that, I just don't buy anymore because it just takes up space. And the big thing is that I have to dust it. I do not want to be dusting. So I do not bring in a whole lot of stuff that I'm going to have to dust. The next one probably has to do more with me getting older, but it's uncomfortable shoes. I will not be buying uncomfortable shoes anymore. I just can't. I can't deal with the foot pain, the back pain. I don't want to be making my body uncomfortable just for some cute shoes. And I guess sometimes I still struggle with this because I bought some low heel, like maybe this tall, like really pretty short pumps that I wanted to wear to work, and I have yet to wear them, and I bought them probably not a year ago, like probably 6-8 months ago, something like that. I still haven't worn them. Same with my boots. I bought these cute boots and they had a little bit of a heel, but I'm afraid to wear them to work because I'm like, I'm not gonna get through the whole day in a heel, even if it's only like 2 inches tall, because I'm so used to just wearing flats or sneakers or whatever it is, something that's super comfortable. And I also have a wide foot. It can be even harder to find comfortable shoes sometimes because not all brands carry wide. And I used to be really hesitant to buy wide. I would just be like, oh, whatever, I'll buy just the regular width. And I have gotten over that. I am not doing that anymore. I know a lot of people tend to hit a point at a certain age where they're like, I am no longer buying uncomfortable shoes. So I'm curious, did you hit this point at some age, or have you always been like this? Or are you someone who doesn't care and you'll wear whatever shoes as long as they're cute? Which is fine if you want to do that. I just know I can't because I'm such a baby when I get sore. The next thing kind of goes back to the fragrance sprays, like for the home. I also don't buy fragrance and body sprays for myself. I used to, so I actually still have a decent collection, but I find that a lot of them actually make me cough a lot when I wear them. I've only found maybe 2 of them that I can wear without coughing and hacking and sounding like I'm just dying the whole time. As a kid, I did have childhood asthma, so I don't know if I still have bits of like the being prone to asthma as an adult because of that, but I know fragrances really bother me. So I've learned my lesson with not buying fragrance sprays. I know there are some that are more natural or use essential oils. I have yet to try any of those. If you know of any brands that are good and kind of easy to find, maybe I can get at the store or Amazon. I don't really like ordering direct from the websites because the shipping cost is usually high. But if there's anything that you know of you would recommend, let me know, because I would love to have some kind of more natural spray if I just want to smell extra good, or if I'm like going to the gym and then straight to work, something I can spray on myself. So that is something I am looking for. But for now, I'm not taking my chance with body sprays that have a lot of artificial fragrance because they just don't seem to be working out for me. So the next one is specialty cleaning supplies. So part of the reason for this is because I do have a house cleaner that comes once a month. So as far as the deep cleaning, they bring their own products and I just don't need to own a lot of them. So that's really nice. But even before that, I didn't own too many specialty products. Like I don't have like a polisher, a sanitizer, a wood cleaner, a metal cleaner, a degreaser. Like I don't have all these separate things, or like a separate bathroom cleaner, nothing like that. I tend to use peroxide, vinegar, and Dawn Power Wash is a big one. Sometimes I do use a disinfectant wipe on the counter just because we're cooking a lot, and if there's like egg residue or meat, like you don't want that stuff hanging out on the counter. So I will use just like a disinfectant sheet sometimes. But for the most part, my list of cleaning supplies is really small. I found you really just don't need that much, but I guess it depends on your situation and what kind of products you have. Because if you do have like expensive furniture or just certain situations, I understand that you might want specialty products. I know we used to have Resolve carpet cleaner in case one of the pets got sick on a rug or on the carpet, but we actually don't have any rugs here right now. Or we have like a bath mat. We don't have many rugs right now, so we just don't need it. We don't have any carpet. So that's one that we can mark off our list. So it just look at what you have and see if you really need to buy some of these specialty products, because you might not. And the final item on this list that I do not spend money on is not so much a physical item, but it is late fees. I do not pay late fees for anything, whether it's a credit card, a library fee, whatever it is. I do not pay those because I am really careful to keep up with things like payments. So with library books, I will set an alarm on my calendar and my phone so that I know to take the books back. Also, they're really good about texting me, so that helps. But for things like credit cards, I schedule automatic payments, or like my student loans, I will schedule automatic payments so I don't accidentally miss one. This can be a really good idea because if you care about your credit score, which most people should, and most people do, then you should schedule automatic payments so you don't miss one, because one missed payment can really lower your score. And God forbid you have more than one missed payment, which I did at one time. It was awful. My student loans were under 4 different accounts at the time, and I missed a payment, but it counted the missed payment across all 4 accounts. So all of a sudden I had 4 missed payments on my credit report. It was awful, and it took forever for them to go away, and my score finally went back up, but it was such a long process. It was so awful. So I don't want that to happen to you because it really sucks. Do what you can to schedule automatic payments. I know you have to be careful that you don't accidentally overdraw your account. You could always set the automatic payment to the minimum amount and then just try to make sure you can keep that amount in your checking account. I know for me, I have Ally Bank and they have overdraft protection. So if it does go over, they'll just pull it from my savings account. It's not a big deal. So if you have something like that, I would say definitely do the automatic payments, but just do what you can to not miss payments. And that does it for this video. So I really hope you got some ideas from some of the things I don't spend money on. I know everyone has a different situation, so some of these things you may find really valuable to you. So if there's anything you disagree with, let me know. If there's anything I missed, let me know. Maybe there's something that you never spend money on that I left off of here. I was trying to keep it really specific because I did have another video of general things I don't spend money on. But yeah, definitely leave me a comment, let me know, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.